Hi, Steve. It's good talking to you today. The primary reason for this video is to show you the two major reasons why people are switching to start using WoodCAD CAM in your area. We've got about 3 or 4 users already converted over, and about 3 more on the way. Basically, this is the user interface of the product. It's AutoCAD. In this particular instance, it's OEM AutoCAD. It's a tab system, and you can see that it's set up for this is where the data is on the system. Here's where your rooms are made, main data, article designers, object designers, part designers. All of these are for making custom type products. Output has to do with the reports. Presentation has to do with generating renderings or video clips of what it is, and drawing views has to do with making architectural submittals. So I'm going to come in and I want to go ahead and do a quick room. In this case, I'll just do an L-shaped couple of walls, and I'll put that into the 3D space. So you can see that there's the walls. And I want to go ahead. It comes with a library, a starter library, and this is part of it. So I'll go ahead and take a 2-door and place it in. It's pretty smart in terms of how it's going to put that into the system. I'll put it on the corner, and I'll go ahead and draw it out, and it gets pretty detailed. Let's go ahead and put another one in there. Do the same thing, put it on the right side, draw it in there, and I want to go ahead and put a tall unit in. So here they are, and we'll associate it with this box, and it knows there's one on the other side of it, so I'll go ahead and draw it in there, and we'll put one upper in there, associated with this wall, and I can place it however I want. I want to put it in the middle so I can show you some things in the drawing. It's parametric, you'll see, and there that is. And I want to put one other one in on the other walls. So let's put a base 2-door, and we'll associate this to the other wall. Now here's the insertion points. You can have it back, bottom, left, right, top, left, top, right, in the back or in the front. I'm going to go back, bottom, left, associated with that corner, and go ahead and draw it in. Okay, so I've got a basic layout. All this is in model space. From that model space, I want to go ahead and generate submittals. So I'll say, give me a 2-door plan of this. And it goes to work trying to calculate all of the geometry in that 2-door plan and make it look like what an architect would expect to see. We get close to 95% of the way the person's already drawing. Here it is. I'll go ahead and label it. So there's the submittal. Now this is the raw, what comes out of it raw, and you can the customer will set it up the way they want it to look. So let's say that I want to go ahead and pull an elevation view of this. So we'll say I want an elevation view. Here's my pointer, and I can point it right at the wall that I want the elevation of, and it goes ahead and calculates that out. Doing a bunch of work right now. Now this work typically has gone in the world of architectural submittals. You know, most people end up using just drawing lines, arcs, and curves, pulling stuff in from older jobs and things like that. But it's not generating cut lists. It's just basically lines, arcs, and curves. In this case, you know, we're getting the production information too. I want to go ahead and do some sectional views. So I'll pull a section of this box and this box, and we'll put the divider line right there, and we'll look at it from left to right, and it'll go ahead and pull that. Now some of the other stuff I can't go look both left to right or right to left. In this case I can. So I'll take this other box and I'll cut it and say, okay, let's do this way, and we'll say from right to left. So I have it both ways. I've ahead and label that. I forgot to label this one in a rush. So I can also do sectional views horizontally. So I'll look up. There's my horizontal section. So from this, I want to go ahead and dimension everything off. So it'll automatically dimension for me. Save me a ton of time. Right. It's a matter of picking the elevation. And these dimensions can be set up to reflect what the customer wants in terms of the nomenclature, fonts, whatever. So very clean though. And one other thing I want to show you on this, on the sectional views, if you zoom in, it's actually showing you the materials that are being used. And it also draws in the edge banding. So you're actually, it's a true WYSIWYG system. And in modeling, being able to show those types of details is pretty hard. Textbook example of the Germans' ability to get down to the details. I want to go ahead and make a submittal out of this. So I'll bring in a template. Here's my template. Let's zoom that up a little bit, and I'll work in this viewport. Let's see what we got. Okay, so I'll just link this view to that, and it scales it up, and you have full control over your scales. Let's do the same with this. I'll link a view to this, and we'll take the smaller one like this. And in this one, I'm going to go ahead and do an ISO. So there basically is a submittal. So there you have it. The speed of this is really quite amazing. I estimate from getting your 2D work, and by the way, all of these are connected. So if I take this and I change one of these, it changes in all of the drawings. I can access it in the 2D world or the 3D world. Then it goes through and changes it, redimensions it, and everything. So when you do your field adjustments, if you have to resubmit or you're making changes, you don't have to go to every single view and change it. It happens automatically by changing it in either any of these, but most people use the model to change it, and then it flags you. So that's basically one reason why. There's also field adjustments capabilities where you can stretch these, and the doors actually get divvied up equally, which no other product in the industry can do that. And that's important to people doing high-end architectural work. He does the grain matching and all that. And again, once I get it drawn, it's ready. It's ready for production. So now I want to show you one other area that's pretty exciting, and I'll just go in here and start a new job. In the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and draw first I'm going to get to a plan view, and we'll shrink this down a little bit, put it out of the way. And I'm going to draw a polyline, and in this polyline I can freehand it. Let's say I want to go about 34 inches over. Let's go 36 up. Let's go up. It doesn't really make any difference. Let's zoom it to that, and I'll complete it. Okay, so this is just the outline of an object that I'm going to make, or we call them articles. So I'll go into the article designer, and I'll say, let's make something from a contour. And in this particular case, it's going to be from the right side, and I'm going to name this thing Texas 4. And so I select it, and now I have an article, and it moves it over to the article designer. This is a glass box in which I'm just going to put surface parts on it. and I can also build inside of it. If I want, I can change the height, width, and depth of it, so I can just round it out. We'll say this is going to be 24, and the depth of it will be, let's say 24, and we'll say the width is going to be 35. Okay, so each one of these surfaces is associated to a part over here. So if I look at that, now I'm working on that one particular one, I can just take the defaults where I can go ahead and say, let's see, these are the last parts that I used on a top, or I can go straight into the database and select get even deeper. This is a portal. Everywhere you are in the program, you have access to the database, which is really makes it kind of special. I want to go ahead and fill all these in. My goal is just to, and this is a door. I'm going to make this door 2 doors. And let's do the same up here. Okay, and so I got the back I got to put on. And then in terms of dividers, I can, this is really, this for inside this box, so I'm working in where it's red. Let's go ahead and put a partition in there, and we're going to call it a solid partition. I can also use something called article zones, in which I can create a zone and put another subassembly inside the zone and build this thing up pretty interesting, and it brings all the hardware with it, etc. In this case, I'll do the partition, and we'll say 1 by 1. And then I'm going to say, okay, I want the next one to be 12 inches. And then I want the next one to be 64 millimeters. So I can space it using inches and millimeters, or just 1 by 1. So what I've done here is I said, okay, let me have this space divided up equally. This space is 12 inches and this space is 64 millimeters. We use a lot of linear equations. So I want to go ahead and save this to the drawing. So I'll just say that, and then save changes. That would put it into the SQL database. I don't want to do that. I just want to put it in the drawing. So we'll put it right next to the, you'll see here it came in at the default sizes, but it is parametric without the use of formulas and variables. So I'll go ahead and draw it in, and there I have it. Let's look at it from an ISO view, and there it is. So I want to go back to the plan view, and I'm going to say, okay, I want to change this. So I'll just pick it, and now let's say I want to change the way that works. Let's pull this in a little bit, down a little bit. I'll pull this down and over. Bear with me here. Just to exaggerate, I'll pull this over a little bit. So now I've got really a completely different shape. Let's pull this up a little bit. So I really have changed the shape of the original. So I'll go into this thing and we'll say, all right, I want to change the contour. And so it's the outline geometry, and it's in an AutoCAD drawing, and it was Texas 4. So now I pick the new one, and I override it. So I say yes. So now I can assign parametrics to each line segment, which really makes this extremely powerful. So now I just go to refresh the article. I'll say, okay, make that match the new way. And if I look at it from an isometric view, you'll see that it's been redesigned. Not that you would have the doors open like that or anything like that, but it does give you the idea of the flexibility of the system and what exactly it can do. That pretty much finishes up what I wanted to show you, Steve. I appreciate your interest in the product. I know we're going to have a lot of fun in the future showing this to clients in your area. Appreciate your time. Thanks a lot.